Imagine being torn between two guys.
Proves my point why Jelly thrives and Conrad blows.
You never expected attention, but it felt like a simple crush was supposed to become a love. No competition, and definitely not a choice between two brothers. Now is the day before your wedding, and your heart is still searching for an answer. Because this was never supposed to be a love triangle. Instead, it was shaped by bias. A bias that quietly points us towards an endgame. So, I had to ask you, who's to say a love triangle can truly be fair?
And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Only on Yapping About Nostalgia.
Exhibit A. Belly. Belly. Belly's weird, trying to get with both brothers. I don't even care. There's billions of other people in the world, and you decide to choose two brothers as your love interest, and they're fighting over you. Come on, Belly, do better. For me, I would have rooted for Jeremiah just cause Conrad did not know what he wanted. He would go away and then he comes back like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I've changed. But he didn't change at all. Oh my gosh, my door is opening. He didn't change at all, so I don't understand why people were trying to put Belly with Conrad. But then I realized, and this is why I'm making this video, is that people are inserting themselves as Belly. They are, because whenever I look at explanations to why people would choose Conrad, it's usually like, oh, I would choose Conrad. Conrad's better for me. It's never what Belly wants.
You've got mail.
We really need to stop giving people so much credit for doing the absolute bare minimum. Oh, he brought me flowers on my birthday. Yes, Sadie, you've been dating for 3 years and he's never even grid posted you.
Oh my gosh, I literally do not like Conrad. Because the disrespect to his brother on his wedding day. Confessing to Belly that he still loves her. And then, not to mention, their own mother having a letter saying, oh, I hope Conrad gets with Belly. And people are trying to villainize Jeremiah? Like, he's in the wrong way. It's really Conrad and his mother and Belly.
I only ever pictured Conrad. Fuck.
Exhibit B. Twilight. Da-da-da-da! Jacob and Edward. Okay, so for me, I was inserting myself because I did not want to be Bella. Team Jacob was for me, not for Bella. If you don't want Jacob, I'm Team Jacob. You can have Edward. You can have the crusty, dusty old skin man. I want Jacob. I want to be in the forest. I want to, live life and not live forever. I want Jacob. And I also don't want a guy who, whenever I walk in a room, he go crazy because of my blood and wants to eat me. So that's why I was Team Jacob. And with Team Edward, some people are like, oh yeah, Team Edward, he's so fine. Like, I want him. I want to be a vampire. Bella's name was never mentioned when it came from the Team Jacob or Team Edward. Never. She was an afterthought. No one could care less. Because, first of all, because of the story, we could tell from the beginning that she was going to end up with Team Edward anyways. Because of how biased triangles are to certain characters, a lot of times people would take it upon themselves to create a romantic plot that's not as obvious compared to the main narrative. These plots or narrative revisions often centers on characters who they believe can enhance the story. This is why we typically see OCs and canon storylines, the creation of ships from thin air, like, the JJK with the princesses. Yeah. And the rise of YN and fanfics being made. So, that's what a lot of people did. They were like, okay, we already know Bella's gonna go with Edward, so let's make a new fantasy. What about us? What if we were in the story? Who would we choose? And it's the same with even Hunger Games, Exhibit C. Or the Walter Boys, Exhibit D. True Beauty, Exhibit E. The list goes on with all these love triangles. Usually when people want a certain lead for the main character, is usually for themselves.
You're watching Yapping About Nostalgia. We'll be right back.
Most of romantic plots are male-centered, and not in the sense of it's targeted to guys. This is not. It's still targeted to women. It's still targeted to women, but the guys in the story have more character development, have more ambition, have more of a plot than the female lead who's in between, who's smushed between two guys. She's squished between them two that you can't even see her anymore. You see male lead 1 and male lead 2. Let's go back to Exhibit A, The Summer Turned Pretty, which is such a good example for this. Even though the plot was centered on Belly and what she was going through, her coming to age, it still went back to the two male leads. She would go to Paris and, oh, Conrad's coming back. I'm like, oh, I thought this was her time to, move on, but he's still coming back. Or let's say her trying to become a lady, it was still had emphasis on Jeremiah and what he's doing. Even though she was trying to move forward, sometimes she would have to pause in her character growth just so the two male leads could catch up. You're going to be focused on them just because you have more of a magnetic attraction to them. You're interested in the actors and you're interested in other personalities. That could be from any romantic series, even like Zootopia. Though it does not have a love triangle. Hopefully never, because I'm tired of waiting with Trudy and... Not Trudy. I'm tired of waiting for Judy and Nick. Okay? It's too long. Even though Judy and Nick have that connection, most of the time I see people talk about Nick. Just Nick. No one really talks about Judy.
So I know some people would say that Judy is appreciated in the fandom and that people like her character, which is true. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm trying to convey is that oftentimes her character is tied to Nick, hence why this whole section is about romances being male-centered. It's common in media that have romantic subplots that the female lead value is tied to the male lead, which is Judy's case. For example, I would see edits with Judy and Nick, but not just Judy. This can also be the same with Avatar, Jake Sully, and Neytiri, where in the plot, they're creating her identity to be a Na'vi who married a human and not her journey being a mother and trying to save her people.
Male-centered usually means heavily prioritizing men's feelings and opinions even when men are in the wrong and often at the expense of women. Literally, Belly and Conrad. I was so in shock when the discourse between Belly and Conrad was coming to play and people were villainizing Jeremiah, because in my head, Conrad did more damage than Jeremiah could ever do to Belly, but since he was written in a more male-centered way while also catering to the female fantasy. That's why he had so many supporters. He had so many supporters and so many delusional supporters that people even thought people who were on Team Jeremiah were Trump supporters. What? Bro, when I saw this post on TikTok, I was like, you know what? I had to shut down my account because I was just like, at what point does these two correlate? Really? Please tell me. Literally, Conrad was taking Belly to war. He was her comrade in war.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Oftentimes, the overlooked lead is usually the main character who's in the center of the love triangle. Usually, they're really overlooked. Overlooked in the sense that though people see them, they don't really see them. Though people understood that Bella was going through mental trauma, people wonder who she was going to end up with at the end of the day. That's all they cared about. And then another character, which is usually the romantic lead, they can also be overlooked and villainized at the same time. A good example is Jeremiah. Jeremiah was villainized, and I feel like the creator was villainizing him as well, because he would do some dumb decisions throughout the story which didn't make sense for his actual character to do, but they had to put that in there so it make it obvious that Conrad was the better choice for Belly. Even in Twilight, she purposely put obstacles in place for another romantic lead because she didn't want it to look like an obvious choice for her.
Killed people, Jake. Bella, we're not killing anyone.
I'm designed to kill.
I don't care.
But what the hell, boy?
Outside of the media, the actual fan base would exaggerate these flaws. I remember people were exaggerating that Jeremiah took so long to finish college. What? He literally lost his mother and he was partying because he was depressed. You're not in competition when completing college. Like, people need to get that out of their mindset. Some people would even rewrite the narrative to justify why one character is better than the other. They would do that a lot of times with Conrad. Oh my gosh, people say, oh, Conrad changed. He did not change. People try to rewrite it and say, oh no, he was growing up behind the scenes. We just didn't see it. That didn't happen in the story.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. You've got mail.
One thing I'll really never understand is this narrative that people try to paint of Conrad, how he's this really selfless and altruistic person who sacrifices everything for other people, because that's not really the Conrad that we see in this series. Sure, Conrad's intentions with keeping the secret about Susanna were made with nobility, but then his actions kind of cancel that out because he instead made everyone just like a little bit more miserable. In the book, Belly actually talks about how Conrad's moods would always dictate the house while they were growing up. So when he would get angry, it would just spread and everyone would be forced to deal with it. So I also don't understand people saying like Conrad is acting so different than he was before, when it's already been stated that he's always been a little bit unable to regulate his emotions properly.
Like, you know, you get that kid feeling and it's just like...
How old are you?
25.
Oh.
I can't be a kid?
I always feel bad for second leads. I've been watching this K-drama, Extraordinary You, I believe that's the name. Basically, this side character becomes aware within the novel, and she's not the main lead, and she has to constantly help the two main romantic leads come together. Her best friend, who also becomes aware, is the second lead in the romantic relationship. So he's a part of the love triangle. I felt so bad because in the drama, he would constantly say that nothing that he would do will ever amount to the endgame relationship. He would try to confess his love to the girl, but she would always gravitate towards the endgame pairing. Most of the time, second leads are just plot devices. They're not even characters. They're just used in the story to make it seem like the main characters have gone through character development or has gone through a shift in realizing what they actually want and who they actually want. When it comes down to the second lead, usually they don't have any backstory. They don't have anything going for them. You don't truly understand who they are. You just know that they like the main character. We don't really get a fair comparison of the two pairings because most of the time it's centered on the endgame pairing that we don't really see the other side, which I don't think is fair just because I want to see how the main lead is with guy A versus guy B. See, this is why the biases of a love triangle really gets to me. It's really frustrating. For example, they would purposely make the main character naive or stupid, or they would make the main character like a blank slate. I still like love triangles, but I kind of wish it wasn't as biased. I want to get a fair chance between the two. If you're clearly gonna have two people fighting for somebody, I want to see both sides of the story. If Belly came up to me talking about her situation with Conrad and Jeremiah. First of all, I would say that she's crazy and she's stupid and she needs to go to therapy and she needs to move away and she needs to really reflect on her actions. I would say that first, but after that, I'll be like, okay, what does Jeremiah have versus Conrad, just to see which one would be best for her. I hope you guys liked today's video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know what you guys think about the vices of a love triangle. What is your favorite love triangle? Because I was stating the more obvious love triangles just because majority of people know about the love triangle I was talking about, but there are hundreds. Please let me know down in the comments. And I will see you guys in... Oh. And I will... I don't know what happened. Literally, my brain just went... There was no words coming out. But I will see you guys in the next video.